Well, hey friends, I'm so glad you're listening today to Storytime with Andy. We have a really fun, cute book today. It's called Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach. So you might have seen some other Scaredy Squirrel books before. He's got a couple of them, but this one is about him going to the beach. So Scaredy Squirrel is afraid of everything. He's nervous about people and crowds. He's nervous about germs, about weird animals, new places. He's just nervous and a little scared about everything. So this time he's scared about going to the beach. He's building his own little beach at home, but he needs just one thing from the beach. So he makes a special plan to go, and you'll kind of see what happens to Scaredy Squirrel when he goes out into the world and arrives at the beach, okay? We are going to draw today. We're going to draw this picture of Scaredy Squirrel, kind of going like that, like a scaredy face. So make sure you have a paper and pencil ready, and we will draw Scaredy Squirrel today. And I want to say a special hello to 3 little friends of mine. I hope they're watching this video. This special hello goes to Jonathan, Caleb, and Will P. in North Carolina. I hope you boys like this book. It's a really fun one. Okay, you guys ready to read? Let's go. This is Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach by Melanie Watt. Warning, warning! Scaredy Squirrel insists that everyone put on number 65 sunscreen before reading this book. Scaredy Squirrel never goes to the beach. He'd rather vacation at home alone where it's safe than risk being surrounded by the wrong crowd. A few crowds Scaredy Squirrel wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of are flocks of seagulls, tribes of jellyfish, herds of sea monsters, packs of pirates, tons of falling coconuts, and mobs of lobsters. So, he's perfectly happy to build his very own private beach. Scaredy Squirrel's Guide to Building a Safe Beach. Here's what you'll need to get started. Paper and crayons, 1 stick, 1 inflatable pool, 1 flashlight, 1 bag of kitty litter, and 1 plastic flamingo. Step 1, draw your beach scenery. Step 2, use a stick to hold it upright. Step 3, cover the ground with sand. Step 4, inflate your ocean. Step 5, turn on the sunlight. And step 6, install the beach wildlife. And enjoy! It looks like a beach and feels like a beach, but it doesn't quite sound like one. Scaredy Squirrel notices something's missing: the soothing sound of the ocean. So, the solution: make a quick trip to the real beach and find a seashell that fits the description below. Seashell, quality and performance chart, looking for germ-free, shiny exterior, and crystal clear ocean sound. But red alert, seashells must not, I repeat, must not be occupied. But traveling to the real beach requires careful planning. First, get a passport. Second, draw a map. Like this beach map for Mission Operation Seashell. At 7 a.m., enter your box and wait. Don't forget your passport. 7:30 a.m., get picked up by the mail truck. Verify your passport. 8:42 a.m., arrive at the beach and wait until the coast is clear. Don't lose your passport. 11:42 a.m., exit the box and find your seashell. Hold your passport. 1:49 p.m., enter the box and wait for pickup. Check your passport. And 6 p.m., get delivered back to your nut tree and put away your passport. So you start here, and seashell should be right here. But caution, look out for falling coconuts. They have a mind of their own and they can knock you out without warning. And careful, birds of a feather flock together. Seagulls can drop by at any time. And important, sea monsters are camera shy, so keep your camera close by. And ahoy, matey, watch for pirates, arr, they'll make you walk the plank. And stay away from tribes of jellyfish. You'll be stung by how sneaky they can be. Another note, never trust a mob of lobsters. They are pinch territorial and are eager to snap. And last but not least, travel light and dress accordingly. For instance, here is Scaredy's beach wear. A side note, this squirrel is a trained professional. Do not try this at home. Exhibit A, protective headgear from falling coconuts. Exhibit B, protective eye patch to fool the pirates. Exhibit C, protective flotation device to prevent sinking. Exhibit D, protective camera to discourage sea monsters. Exhibit E, protective compass to avoid getting lost. Exhibit I, protective French fry to distract the seagulls. Exhibit H, protective oven mitts to block germs. Exhibit G, protective rubber band to tame lobsters. And Exhibit F, protective footgear to shield from jellyfish. Remember, if all else fails, play dead and send an SOS. The next morning, as planned, Scaredy Squirrel jumps into the box. At 7:30 a.m., he gets picked up and they drive and drive. And at 8:42 a.m., Scaredy Squirrel gets dropped off and waits and waits. At 11:42 a.m., a crowd appears. People were not part of the plan. Scaredy Squirrel panics and plays dead. 30 minutes later, 1 hour later, 2 hours later, and finally, Scaredy Squirrel realizes that the perfect seashell is right under his nose. Surrounded by friendly people, he decides to join the crowd. And Scaredy Squirrel builds sandcastles, takes pictures, floats around in the ocean, and sunbathes with the others. He forgets all about the flocks of seagulls, tribes of jellyfish, herds of sea monsters, packs of pirates, tons of falling coconuts, and mobs of lobsters. And he's glad to be part of the crowd. Back home, after a day of fun in the sun, Scaredy Squirrel's inspired to make one more important addition to his own beach. A crowd! Look at all those garden gnomes. Now it feels like a true beach. P.S. As for Scaredy's next visit to the beach, it might be sooner than he thinks. Because red alert! The seashell has an occupant! The end. Oh, Scaredy Squirrel. I have certainly felt like Scaredy Squirrel sometimes. I bet you have too. I think it's kind of natural to sometimes get a little scared of the unknown if you go to the beach like Scaredy, or to a party or to school and you kind of don't know who's going to be there or what to expect. It can kind of be a little scary, but we saw that he ended up having a great time at the beach, right? So we are going to draw Scaredy Squirrel making a very Scaredy Squirrel face. We're gonna draw this page, or this picture from the book right here. And you can see he's kind of holding his hands up to his mouth and making an O face, like to show that he's really scared, okay? So we are going to draw Mr. Scaredy Squirrel. I'm gonna do it in marker. You can do it in whatever you would like, okay? I just do marker because that way it's easier for you to see at home, all right? We are going to draw a big old circle. See how it's kind of showing him in a circle here? So just in the middle of your page, draw a big old circle, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just having fun drawing here, okay? And then we are going to draw his face. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna do his hands first. Let's do these little squirrel hands, okay? So you're gonna come right about halfway where the circle is down here at the bottom and draw an arm up. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. How about that? And they're just kind of like waves, right? They're not really very like distinct. So you just kind of wiggle your pen around until it looks like a hand, okay? There's one hand. And then we're gonna scooch our pen over just a little bit and do the same thing. Come on up until you're ready to get to the thumb. Do a hump over there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, and come on down. So there are his hands going up to his face, showing that he is scaredy, okay? We are going to draw his head next, all right? So come to about where your pinky is over here and start drawing a circle until you get right about there and stop.
And then we're gonna do the same thing right over here. Come to the pinky, start drawing a circle up, and stop. We gotta stop because we need to draw these ears, okay? So one hump here, then keep on going with your circle. Easy, right? And then we're gonna draw kind of the inside of his ear, just like that. Okay, so there is his head. We are going to draw his little eyes. So it's just a circle over here. You can color that in. And then one on this side. Big circle. And color it in. Poor Scaredy Squirrel. I'm so glad he wasn't scared at the end. All right, there's his little beady squirrel eyes. And we're gonna draw this part on his face that kind of shows where his nose is and where his fur changes colors, okay? So we're gonna start over here, kind of where his cheek is. Kind of, whoops, come in a little bit, make a big hump in the center of the eyes, and then back down. All right, so there's his face. Next, we're going to draw his nose. So we're gonna do a straight line, just like that. And then a half of a circle underneath it, okay? And then draw a line down like that. There's his nose. And we're gonna draw his mouth, which is just a smaller circle, and it's open real wide because he's showing that he is scared, okay? We're gonna draw a line here that shows the rest of his body. And we're gonna draw right up here a couple of zigzags that shows his tail kind of in the background. And there is our Scaredy Squirrel, right? You can, oh, whoops, we never made the bottom of his face. Why didn't you tell me? Here we go, boom, there's the bottom of his face. Now we feel better. Okay, so now we can draw Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach, which is the title of the book that we read today. So here we go. You can draw along with me. It's S-C-A-R-E-D-Y, Scaredy Squirrel, S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L, Scaredy Squirrel, A-T-T-H-E-B-E-A-C-H, Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach. All right, good job with your Scaredy Squirrel. Okay, everybody, I hope you had fun with that book. I loved seeing Scaredy Squirrel's little like map and plan on how he's gonna, get that seashell from the beach. And then at the end, it turns out he really enjoyed the people. He enjoyed the new things there. And so I just love how the story kind of takes a twist. And at the end, he still has his beach at home, but he fills it with garden gnomes because he misses being around people. So it's a really good lesson from Scaredy Squirrel about how trying new things is sometimes a little scary, but then we can find out that we actually really enjoy them, right? Okay, everybody, I want to see your pictures of Scaredy Squirrel, so you can draw them and then ask your mom or dad to put them on Facebook or Instagram so I can check them out. I'd love to see it. And as always, stay well and keep reading.